Can you hear me? Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So why only few people are here today? Many people are missing in the premises. Okay, let's start. So to recap, we will do the demo session on some constructor program, one of the program from the lab itself, how to go about with a complete structure of a class with all private instance variables, constructors, setters, getters, behaviors, everything, how a complete class should be. Okay. Then I'll share the lab document with you and you please continue with the lab. Okay, cool. So to recap, what are constructors?
Member of a class.
It's a special member of a class. It's like a method, but it is not a method. The name of the constructor will always be as same as of class name. And the access specifier depends upon whether you need to provide access or anything like that for creating the objects. We'll learn how other access specifiers for a constructor changes the way of creating object later. Okay, so we can use all the 4 access specifiers with constructors, no optional modifiers, no return data type, but we can accept arguments as parameters, and we will use these constructors to initiate the values for state or instance variables. Okay, these constructors are executed during object creation as a last but one step of the process of object creation. Without executing the constructor body, object is not created. JVM executes the constructor body, then only the object will be created and the reference will be passed back to the reference or stored in the reference variable. Is this clear? Okay, let's begin. So let me take this question itself. I'll share my screen. Give me just a minute. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible? Cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the question. I have to create a class song. So I create one .java file with name song, song.java, and okay. Then I paste the question as comment. So we have to create a class song, and a song has a name and lyrics. Okay. A song can be played when you play, right? Then when you play, the behavior is when you play it, it prints out its lyrics to the monitor. as a playing thing. This is the behavior. Okay. Then we have to create the class with two instance variables. As we know, since it has name and lyrics, it is implemented as instance variables. Then we have to create two setter getter methods to set name and get name and set lyrics and get lyrics. Okay. Then we have to make sure that we validate everything, whatever we accept as parameter, we should validate for the proper value. Is the user of this class sending the proper value for our instance variables? Because the state affect behaviors. If the user sets the wrong state, an invalid state, then our behavior will be affected. It will not work as it is expected to be. So we have to make sure that we validate for every input value that we take in that fits the requirement. Then we have it is all under we have to create two objects of songs in a tester class, and set the different names and lyrics and invoke play and verify if the songs are playing correctly. So these things we will do. And the next part is these things we are very much comfortable, right? For declaring instance variables and writing setters, getters, and validating for the inputs. We should be comfortable by now, right? Then next, now invoke the setter method to change the lyrics and invoke play again. So we will do that. And what will be played or what will be printed? Lyrics, which is changed. Okay. So, and again, has the lyrics changed? Yes, it would be. It should change if the lyrics is set properly or a proper value for the lyrics is set. Then next, now create a parameterized constructor to accept both. Now from here, a new concept will pop in. Okay, we haven't yet coded any constructors. So now we have to create a parameterized constructor to accept both name and lyrics of a song class. Then put an SOP in the constructor as well. We will put an SOP to test what happens when constructor is or constructor gets executed. So compile song.java, then try to recompile. So all these things we'll do step by step. So now, just shall we start? So we have created a class song, and song has name and lyrics. So this is the instance variables. We have to come up with the design, right? So song class is there. So song has, there are two things which song has. One is name and lyrics. And one thing that we can do with song is we can play song. So that will be implemented as behavior as an instance method. So assume that we have come up with the design. So what should be the access specifier of any instance variable?
Private.
Private. Why?
Sir, then only they can assign a value using setter method. Otherwise, they can directly call that assign a value.
Yeah, because this should not be the answer. The answer should be to hide the state. This is the purpose of making the instance variables private. We have to hide it from the class user. We should not allow class user to access our state directly. This is the main purpose of making it private. So private, what should be the data type of lyrics or name of the song? String. Always remember, string should be yes caps. String name. Then we'll create private string lyrics. Okay. Then we have to provide get lyric, get name and set name, and get lyrics and set lyrics. So what should be the access specifier for setters and getters?
Public.
Public. Why? Because we need to give access for the class user to access these methods, by using which he will set the value or he will pass the value, and we as the class designer of this song class, we will test for whether this value that is passed from the class user is a valid one to set for the name. Is it valid value for lyrics? If it is valid, we will set the name and lyrics, else we will give an error message that we cannot set this value for the name. If the user passes null or if user passes an empty, we do not want our song's name should be null. We do not want our song's name to be an empty string. So we will validate in our setters method so that whatever user may pass, but we will not set the invalid values for our instance variables or state variables. We will check for the values. If it is valid, then only we will set the value, else we will provide an error message. Okay, we have to set name. So inside set name, we should, what we should do? If name not equal to null and name dot, you can do this also, but name dot remove dot equals empty string, and we should negate this. This condition is to check that name should not be null. This condition is to check that name should not be empty. Okay, so then we will do this. Don't worry about this thing. Okay, you can change the name. We will talk about what this means, okay, later. So don't get confused. Okay, else we will print an error message telling that not a valid name. Is this clear? Yeah, correct. N not equal to null and n dot. Then we have get name, and it returns the name of the song. Then we will code the setter for lyrics. Okay. Set lyrics, and let's take it as L. So let's take it as L. And the same thing we have to check that lyrics should not be null and lyrics should not be empty. If this holds good, we will set for the lyrics, else we will print not a valid lyrics. And we'll provide a get method for lyrics. Is this clear? Everyone, online guys? Hello? Is the
Yes.
setter getter, writing setter getter for a string? Is this clear? For any string, you have to check for whether it is a null or an empty. Okay, and then set the value. This is the bare minimum validation for a string. Everybody clear?
Sir, what is an object?
What is an object? Oh, this is, don't worry about this. This is the feature of VS Code, which is telling equals method receives a parameter, which is an object. Okay, if you go to this method, which is in the strings class, just I do this. So this is the code for string class. We have equals method. It accepts a parameter, which is a type, and its name is an object. I have not coded this. This is an indication of VS Code itself. Okay, it tells that you are passing a value for an object. Okay. Anything else? Anything else that you haven't understood in this setter and getters?
No.
Everybody clear? Okay,
Yes, sir.
good. Then we will give the play method. We will write the play method. So public, should we return anything? Should we return anything when song is played? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Should we return anything as per the requirement?
Yes, sir.
What we should return? We need not return anything. When we call play, it should just print the lyrics of the song. So it's not asked to return the lyrics, but to print the lyrics inside the method body. Okay, we will not return anything. So public void play song. Okay. Should we receive anything to play? No, we haven't. We need not send something to play method to play, because song itself has the lyrics. So it will play its own lyrics. Okay. Then inside this, we'll just play. If what we should check for?
Null.
If lyrics not equal to null, then play, right? Playing song. Okay, then plus because it is possible to call the play song method even without setting the lyrics. If you do not set the lyrics, what will be the lyrics value? It will be null, right? If it is null, what to play, right? Else you print that lyrics is not at set. Is everybody clear with this code? Any doubts? Any doubts? So we will create one more class called test song .java. Okay, it is a class. We need a main method. And inside main method, we will create two objects. Song, the song equal to new song, and song song 1 equal to new song 1. Okay. Now we will, what we should do? We will call the song dot play song method. Okay. Will this compile successfully? It compiles successfully. Will this run successfully? Yes, it runs successfully. But what do we see in the monitor or in the terminal?
Song is not set.
Yeah, lyrics is not set. So before calling the play song, we have to set the lyrics. So song dot set name. Which song shall I do this? National anthem, and the song's lyrics is set lyrics, and the lyrics is Jana Gana Mana, etc. Okay. So now if we play the song, we will also print the song's name, playing song plus name and we will give an SOP in here and print lyrics. Cool. So now go back to test song. Then we'll play this. See, playing the song national anthem and the lyrics is printed. This is the simple implementation of playing method. Is everyone clear? Hello? Hello, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So, okay. Now, what is the next thing we have to do is, now we have to create a parameterized constructor to accept both name and lyrics in song class. How do we create any constructors?
Access specifier.
Access specifier, let it be public, and
Class name.
class name and the parameter list. Okay. Here we have a parameterized constructor of this class song with two parameters accepting for one for name and one for lyrics. I'll just change this name. Right. Okay. Now, again, here in the constructor, we have to do the same validations that we did in the setter method. Okay. To set the name. So we'll just take this and print it. And let's copy this and paste it here. So this is the parameterized constructor that we have written to accept two values, two string values, one for name and one for lyrics. And inside the constructor body, inside constructor body, we are writing the code to check for the valid values of name and string and assign those state variables, assign those values to state variables. We can call, I'll tell you why we should not. Okay, so I'll just write a SOP that telling inside song construct. Okay, now we go back here. Now we see an error. What is the error? Why are we seeing this error?
So we created a constructor with a parameterized, but we are not passing a parameters while creating an object.
Correct, exactly. When we do this, when compiler compiles this code, it searches whether there is a constructor in the class. If there is no constructor, no harm, compiler will add a default constructor with no parameters and empty body. Okay, if there are any constructors, the compiler checks whether there is a constructor to accept no parameters or zero parameterized constructor if it is there. If it is not there, then there is no match for creating the object of the song class like this. We cannot create a song object like this without passing any parameters because there is a constructor which accepts two values as parameters. To create the object for this song class, we have to either we should provide an empty body constructor or we should pass the values to the constructor to make this object creation successful. Okay, we have this. So we will pass. So I will declare two strings here. String n equal to what? National anthem, and string L equal to okay. Okay. So we save this and we will pass yes and sorry n and n. So we will comment this out. We save this. See. Now the error went away because we are passing two strings as parameters and the object creation is successful. Okay. So even though if we do not have all these things, I'll just comment this out. So if I run this, what will be the output? If I run this code, what will be the output?
Nothing.
Nothing.
It just creates an object with
It
the
returns.
parameter.
Do we see any output here when we run this?
Yes, sir.
What?
Yeah, inside constructor, we mention SOP.
Yeah,
So it will be printed.
exactly. Good. So when we run this, okay, you see this output. Even though there are no code written to print anything here inside the main method, or we have not yet called the song play song method, something is printed here like inside song constructor. When it is executed during object creation, constructor body gets executed. Okay, if we have print statement, it prints it, else whatever statement that is present inside the constructor body, that will be executed, and the use of constructor is to initiate the state values during object creation. So whatever we accept as the parameter for the constructor will be validated and set as the state values. Clear? Yeah. Constructor is the last but one step of object creation. Without executing the constructor body, object is not created in Java. Okay. Is everybody clear? This is a very important understanding, guys. Constructor is executed every time you create an object, and what constructor is executed depends upon the parameters that you pass and the type of constructors that is there in your class. Okay, it picks up that respective constructor regarding with it compares with the parameters, and that particular constructor is picked up. Only one constructor is picked up every time an object is created, and that constructor body is executed fully before it sends back the reference value to the reference value back. Okay, saving it or not, it depends. Before it sends the reference of that object, JVM will execute the constructor body. Clear? Everybody? Any doubts here? Hello? Any doubts? Any questions?
No, sir, please.
Okay, cool. Then
In SOP, you are mentioning X dot inside song constructor, no? Like what exactly X means, sir?
it is as same as this an object. This is the name of the variable that we pass. Okay, don't worry about these things which are marked with this color. It is the names that is given to that particular parameter in that class. In the println method, if I go to println method, you see it receives a string parameter whose name is X. Okay, don't worry about those things which are in this color. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then, so it did not compile everything we checked and we understood. And now change your code in test song to create two song objects by passing parameters to the constructor. We tested even that. And if we comment out the setters method we also did that. And now recompile and run the program and everything that we did. Now, did we understand the usage of constructors now? Is everyone clear about the usage of constructors? Everybody? You
Yes,
should be very clear with why constructor is used. One thing is when constructor is executed, the next important thing is why do we use constructor? Okay, so now we will add another constructor to song to be accept only name as parameter. Now there is a requirement that we have to create one more constructor which accepts only name as parameter. So can we have multiple constructor in the same class? Hello? Can we have multiple constructors in same class? Yes, we can have, and each and every constructor is picked up depending upon the parameters. Okay, so we will create one more constructor, public song to accept only name, and inside this we will set the name. So I just print this inside song constructor. Let's change this to n. Inside single parameter song constructor. This is 2 parameter song constructor. Okay. Now In test song, create another song object by passing only name. Okay. Now, inside this, we will create the song object by passing only name. Okay. Cool. Now, in this, which constructor gets executed? When JVM executes this line number 6, which constructor will be executed?
With 2 parameters. Constructor.
Yes, a constructor with 2 parameters. In line number 7, which constructor will be executed?
1 string name.
Yeah, a constructor which accepts a single parameter. Okay, cool. If I run this, will I get any output? I'll send another name. Okay, string in2 equal to which song? Which songs? Tell me some songs name.
Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram. Okay. Okay, I'll send this as the name of the song. Okay, I'll just do this. See, first thing is, since the first object we are creating is with 2 parameters, inside 2 parameter song constructor is printed because that is the first object created. And next is the inside single parameter song constructor is printed because the second object we are creating is with single parameter. Okay. Then what is the next question? So check by calling play as what is the lyrics being printed. Okay, we'll check by playing song 1. So song dot play song. Okay. Song 1 dot play. What will be printed now? What will be printed now?
And Vande Mataram.
First thing is, first it will print national anthem and Jana Gana Mana. For the next song 1 dot play song,
It will print Vande Mataram.
it will print just a name but not the lyrics. Why? We have not yet set the lyrics for song 2. So let's test this. Clear the console and run this. So first is inside 2 parameters constructor means song 1 got created. Next, inside single parameter song constructor, song 2 got created, and playing song national anthem, and the lyrics is play. And then when we call the play song on song 1 object, it is telling that lyrics is not set. Okay. So then what is the question? Okay, now invoke set lyrics and pass a lyrics string as parameter. So inside test song, we will create the lyrics. Okay, before calling this L1, it is of type string. String L1 equal to Vande Mataram. Okay. And before calling this, we will call L1 dot set song 1, sorry, not L1. Set lyrics and pass L1. Okay. Now if we run this again, you see, so first playing song national anthem, next playing song Vande Mataram. Clear? Is everybody clear with this code?
Yes, sir.
Have you all understood how constructors work?
Yes, sir.
How we pass parameters to the constructor and what constructor will be picked up and everything?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Then invoke play again on the same object, and now did we understand that what happens? Well, okay, so this tells that why do we need setters methods apart from constructors? Both setters and constructors are doing the same job, okay, but constructors are executed implicitly by JVM during object creation. And if we want to initialize any values to the state variables during object creation, we will create the parameterized constructors, accept the values from the user, validate it, and set it. We, as the class user, explicitly cannot call the constructors, okay? But we can call the setters method to set the values anytime we want. Okay, anytime we want to change the value of the lyrics, we can do that by calling setters. And as a class user, we can call setter methods as many times as we want. Okay, these are the main two difference between setter method and constructor methods. There was one question here. Why can't we reuse setter method? Why can't we call setter method inside constructor? Right? Right? That was the question. Why can't we do that? We can do that. We can do that. But moving forward, setter methods are public methods which can be inherited by the children class. Okay? There is a possibility to change the way of setters or how setters work inside the children class. We can re-implement those methods. So it is not at all a best practice or a good practice to call those methods inside a constructor which can be inherited later and could be changed. Okay, if you want to write some code which you wish to reuse both in a constructor and also in setter, both have same code, right? Both this constructor and the setters have same code. Why to repeat ourselves by coding same things? So to work around, there is a workaround for this. To reuse the code, we will provide a private method. Private methods are not inherited. Those implements could not be changed in future. So we write private methods, write the validating code inside that private method, and we can reuse that private method both in constructor and setters. Okay, we will see how to do that in future. Clear? Any question? Yeah.
Setter and get methods are non-static methods, so we need an object to call it.
Yeah.
So let's assume you're using setter get inside a constructor in this example. Constructor invoke code object creation.
Yeah.
But then how can you call a setter inside constructor because the object is big?
Because constructor is the setter method is already there in the class. Okay, so means that is already available. It's like one of the organ in your body. So you can access that particular here, even here we are accessing instance variables, right? We are setting for instance variables even before object is created. In the same way, we can also access instance methods. Okay, we can do that, but it's not okay. But if you make it private, that is the best practice to reuse the code both in constructor and setter. Okay, later point of time, you cannot change the constructor's implementation, but you can change the setter's implementation in the child class. If you change that implementation, the constructor of the parent class will get affected. Okay, so it's not a best practice to use those methods which are inheritable. In other words, if any public or package access or protected access methods should not be used in constructor. Okay, good. Any questions? Hello? Is this clear?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Was this helpful? This demo? By this time, you should be very clear about why should we make instance variables private? Why should we provide setters and getters? How do we create constructors? How do we pass parameters to the constructors? And how do we set the values which is received from the user to the state variable after validating? Okay. We still have to look upon something else to have a complete design of a class. We have seen how many members of the class till now? We have seen how many members of the class till now?
3.
We have seen variables, we have seen methods, we have seen constructors. What are yet to be seen? Initializers and inner class. Okay,
Inner
we will
class.
learn both of those things also later, and we see how initializers can be used and how inner classes are used. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. I will forward the lab. Please start with the lab and try to complete it today itself. About the strings questions I have sent it today, don't worry about that. It has 50 questions. Don't worry about the numbers. Solve it 5 a day. Okay, take 10 days. It's not a problem. Do it. If you are able to do more problems, it's really very good. If not, at least do 5 problems each and every day. It really helps for your interviews. Any doubts, you can always reach out to me. You can always put doubts in the groups. Okay. There is no hurry. Go one step at a time. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye. No questions, right?
No, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.